Always max police before you start. Welcome to the story walkthrough. Today this video will show how to get your first gun, how to farm before the storyline, because that could be really detrimental, how to save your heals as everything at the beginning of the game, what table to make first, how to maintain your stuff so you can farm, how to make credits because money is super important, what to focus on, and what zones to do. Let's get into it. And hello there, and this is Kingoftryinit. So we're going to be taking you through the walkthrough of the storyline pretty much, but I'm also going to teach you everything step by step so I don't miss anything. The problem about being high level is that you tend to miss stuff. So here we go. This is the computer you do first. Obviously this guy will be like, you could fix stuff, and it just takes the piss out of you. This is effectively the first table you have to make, because without doing this you can't get access to the first zones to farm. If you can't farm the first zones, you can't do anything. So hands down, this is the first table you really have to do, but I don't really count it because it forces you to do it basically. Okay, so after you've done that, obviously you want to talk to the darknet. The darknet is going to tell you some jibber jabber about a table, and you're going to be like, okay, well, I can't get a table. I didn't really do this video or this part before simply because it's just so straightforward. It's a linear path. There's not much you can do, so it will force you to do this. I guess the only way to mess this up is, I don't know, the game crashes or gives you infinite loading. Yeah, you heard me, Cyberika. Infinite loading. Give me my account back! Anyways, seriously, it's just so straightforward. There's not really much to say about this, but this will effectively take you to your first gun. So yeah, that's it really. So obviously we'll show you now the first weapon table. This table is tempting to repair because it allows you to repair your fists, your knuckles, your baseball bat. I'm going to tell you now, don't repair that table yet, because you'll get tempted to waste materials on baseball bat and knuckles and maybe your pistols. You don't want to make that table yet. There's only one equivalent to this plan of terms of what table to do first. If you end up getting too many augmentation mod skills, then go ahead and do the aug table first, or the augmentation table first, which I will show you in this video. The reason why I say that is because it will take a lot of space, and at the beginning of the game you're gonna need those skills. Those skills are everything in your farming. If you fail to get some of them, or you're just very unlucky, you're gonna struggle a lot. Okay, even if you follow this walkthrough exactly, you're gonna really struggle. So if you get too much augmentations, do the augmentation table first, nothing else. And then the second table you want to do is the recyclable table. Okay, because you'll get so many odd weapons here and there that you're just going to end up having so much materials that's going to allow you to make all the other tables anyways. But if you don't get the recycle table first, you're gonna struggle to repair your stuff and everything else. So the recycle table is easily the most important table, and then you can get the other tables afterwards. But again though, if you end up getting too many augmentations, then you have to get that first, because you don't want the augmentations to take up your space, and that will happen. The drugstore, go ahead and ignore the drugstore. You will not be having any heals in this video whatsoever, because if you do, you are screwing yourself over at the beginning of the game. Obviously this is the part now where you get your first gun. Now the first gun is rubbish. It's guaranteed low status. It's not something to really share about. I don't know if you start the game multiple times and you do this, if a gun could possibly give you different stats. I highly doubt it, because in missions, what seems to be the running theme in storyline is they always give you a new gun but the lowest stat version of it. So it did it with the AK Suna on the newer missions, the energy gun. It was always low stats. So if a mission gives it to you, most of the time when a mission gives you something, it's to help you do the next storyline basically, and that tends to be what it is like. All right, so yeah, and then they also, the story weapons also have a weird dismantling thing with them as well, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. All right, so someone asked me, how do you change your name in Cyberika? Now, this is how you change it. You can change it at the start of the game. If you forget to, I did, then you can do it. But you just come to the shop and you can change it for absolutely free. Kafir or Cyberika company, that's an amazing job. Let people just be able to do that for free. Don't put monetization things on everything, please. Just let them, as long as they can change it to a name that no one else has got, that seems to be pretty, you know, pretty cool, pretty good. All right, so I hope they don't change this, but for now it is literally just to change that. It's nothing. If you want to change your hair and your gender, it does cost you credits, but in terms of just your name, it costs you absolutely nothing. Okay, nothing at all. So yeah, it's just on the side there where the shop is. Just go in, change your name, you should be fine. All right, so now we're on the first zone, the outskirts. Now you can continue doing the storyline, which is kill 5 razorheads in Cyberlands, which is effectively the first mission. So you're gonna farm and do the first mission, okay? But you need to know this: what you really should be doing when you got 0 stars on the zone is basically farming the highest level zone at the start. The first 2 zones are the easiest zones. Don't get me wrong, the second zone has a lot of shotgun users and pistol users, and they're gonna hurt, but there's no sneak option, there's no other option, and you can do those zones naked anyways. You just gotta be smart and know your enemy. Now in this game, knowing your enemies is important. If you haven't checked it out, there's a video on the top right of the screen now that I'm going to flash up, and that's going to tell you to know your enemies, and it will go through some of the zones of, you know, the enemies in the game of Cyberika. Now if it's not out yet, it's because Kafir hasn't fixed my game. When they do, the video will be available. Now you go naked because you have no space. Like, look at the space, you've got no space at all, and you practically need to take everything. Also the money things, these are the only things you can see on the map. So you can see the boxes and you can see the money things on the map, and they disappear once you loot them. Except for the boxes, they don't disappear. And then obviously from the previous video, you've got the 2 boxes which are here that aren't seen on the map that you can loot, and they always have good items, so don't miss them. In this zone, you're looking for the first zone about 4 of each, and then maybe 5 of the main boxes or 4 boxes of those 2. The money things, it tends to be 2 or 3 on my previous personal experience. However, you know, if there's been updates and changes, then, you know, there may be more, there may be even less. But my point is try not to miss any of these. They're going to be really handy and helpful to you, and they can have absolutely anything in them. They're not always just crappy materials. Sometimes it could be amazing. I found a console in a green bin before, not on this stage, but I have found something like that in there before. Now as you can see, I'm not using any of my heals, or I'm trying my best not to use any of the heals. And I've also just done a quest. Carry on farming the zone after you've done the quest, because your star is still gonna go up, and farming this zone is going to be important. What you need to do next, as you can see, I've switched to the baseball bat and I'm using the strongest weapon to take them out. Until I get Knuckles of 13-14 damage, I'm not using anything else, because Knuckles will end up taking 3 hits, which means I'll take 2 to 3 hits back. The quicker I kill the enemy, the more efficient I can do the zone, because I also am not allowed to heal, so therefore I've got to be more effective. If you're low level as well, let the level up heal you. If the level up heals you, you will last a lot longer in the zone. And these heals that you're building up now, these heals are going to allow you to basically do story quests. Alright, so you're building them up without buying the heals, because buying the heals at the start of the game is too expensive for you at the start of the game. Remember the drugstore I talked about? Avoid that. Now you can go out the zone. Well, it's talking about disturbance level, so I'll talk about it really quickly. It's just talking about the police that build up on the zone. When you're on the 1 star, which is what it is on now, you don't need to worry about it. Okay, like it'll go down in 59 minutes if you want to wait that long. But the reason why I've come out the zone is to store my items. Now, to store the items, you always want to put your credits in the car and durability weapons and armor, because if you die with this stuff on you, you will lose the durability of it. Okay, so put stuff that's got durability and credits first. Everything else is fine, because if you die in this game, you don't lose anything. It just all comes back. The only thing you lose is experience, which at this point in the game is actually a good thing to die, because if you die, it keeps you low level for longer, which allows you to make use of other things, which I'll talk about in later, about how to get more credits. So as you can see now, I'm on 3 HP and I'm nearly dead. Now, obviously I've had to do the heal because just in case, you know, a random thing happens. And I didn't want to be, you know, too risky. As you can see, I'm using my fist there, which is 2 low damage, so I take way more hits. But using 1 heal is fine, but I'm nearly leveled up, so I'm going to keep pushing the zone until I level up and use as less heals as possible. Of course, when you're doing melee and you misgauge how many people are there and what they have, you can easily make a mistake, because there's no sneak attack in this game at all, and I don't think there ever will be. So that's what's going to make this really difficult. So just gauge your enemy, try to pull them the best you can, but if not, don't be afraid to use a heal. Just don't get crazy with it. The heal is only there as a clutch. You need to do your best not to use a single heal in the zone, because it will look after you. And don't be shy, keep going in and out the zone as much as you want to keep storing stuff into your car to make space for stuff for you. Now, I'm going to take the pistol and start using it, but since I know that this pistol for a fact is common as crazy, it's really common, and it's really a crap pistol. So don't be afraid to bring the pistol with you, because now what I'm going to do now is, with anybody that is a razorhead or really tanky, or someone that's just really long to kill with a melee weapon, I'm just going to run away from them and shoot them with a pistol. And then when their health gets low enough, I'm going to save the pistol the best I can and then use a melee attack to basically finish them off. So obviously this is, guys, just for example, someone's 17 health and I'm trying to save heals. So I'd be a bit risky here because the dog could effectively kill me there, because the dog takes 8. But I'm very fortunate there because I'm pushing it, because I'm trying my best to make sure my heals last, because I know I'm so close to a level up. And with a pistol, you can easily do a zone without being touched. Easily, because there is literally no gun users in this zone. Well, there is one sometimes, maybe 2. But it's just a random occurrence, and it tends to happen when there's more police or more stars in the zone. Okay, so I believe I've covered what I'm supposed to cover in this video so far, really and truly. In terms of credits, contracts. Do contracts. As soon as they pop up at this point of the game, just do them. It'll be very low, but they'll be very easy, and it's a very great way for free-to-plays to get credits. Okay, you can't control how contracts turn up. They just turn up at certain times of the day or play duration or whatever. I'll have to focus, research it to see exactly how it all works, but personally I haven't got a time or a specific thing for it. So I'm still on 8 health, as you can see here, and I'm still just being risky and just, you know, running the zone with 8 HP, refusing to heal myself and just stacking them, because it's going to be for the next mission, because the missions are much harder than the zones, much harder. So yeah, that's how you get loads of credits. Obviously I can't show you that right now, because, you know, unless a contract comes up randomly, which it will do, you can't get them. But that's the best way to get credits, but it also levels you up, so be careful. So if you want to get credits, lots of credits but no levels, you will have to come to the zone, die on purpose with nothing on you, and keep dying until your experience goes back to the bottom or something. If that's what you want to do and make loads of credits and give yourself a really good start at the start of the game and be like really comfortably in the game, then yeah, go ahead and do that. It's really down to you. For me personally, since I'm trying to do a storyline and YouTube stuff, I'm just going to play the game without dying and leveling up as fast as possible, just so I can give you guys the best content I possibly can. Okay, so we have covered the first gun, how to get it, how to farm before the story. We have done how to save your heals, you know, shoot them, melee them. What tables to make first. Yeah, we've said that the augmentation table is better. How to maintain your stuff by farming is by just using really weak weapons. And what to focus on, your heals and the guns that you get from the game. And finally, what zones to do. Do the second zone first. Don't do the first one. The second zone is much better. So yeah guys, we've pretty much covered everything we said we was going to do at the start. Of course, we're going to run through the storyline, and if anything pops up that I feel is important or that you need, then obviously we're going to go ahead and do that. Of course, I'm going to be doing the augmentation now, which is obviously for the next quest type thing, and obviously want to keep the quest in league, so if anybody is stuck on a particular mission or quest, it's much easier for them to go through my channel and find what they need. Okay, but only make the augmentation biochamber first if you've got too many augmentation skills. If not, try to do the scrap machine first, which is at a level 10. Okay, this is Kingoftryinit, always trying it. If you need to know where consoles are to make your scrap table, go ahead on the top right of the screen and check that out. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.